Another day, another project. So back in the garage again today, and this is what we're featuring. So I'm gonna do a little, I guess you would call it documentation of this from start to end. This is a 190D. Has a OM602, naturally aspirated, and swapping over to a OM606. Go over the parts that we have. Clear turbo 606. Have a 5-speed from a SLK 230. It's a 717.4. I want to voiceover time, so when in slow motion. The transmission is a 717.460. The clutch flywheel setup I'm pointing to right now, it's like a Kangaroo's team. It's specifically for that transmission. They make little bigger ones for the 6 speeds, but that's the one that fits on the 5-speed. Walk it over here, I'm not sure what I'm doing. Here's a pump. It's a 8mm diesel Mackin pump. I think it's 210 cc on max fuel, 5300 RPM. Walking back, probably pointing at the shift linkages. I wish I really didn't do this, but whatever. I'm probably describing how it's easily done. You just have to get a pin and then cut those linkages. Got a mechanical fuel filter housing off a 603. Going over gaskets, thermostats. That's some EGR delete pipe thing. Rim and seal. These are all the built injectors. Oil line from Benz Force. Actually missing a couple. These are the dry shaft plates. These replace your flex disc and allows you to bolt, I guess more, I forgot the correct term for it, but it's used on a lot of American transmissions. They're like 4-bolt joints instead of that triangle flange, and they just have a slip joint in the center, so it's easier to make them that way. Belt. What else do I have in here? I think those are injector line clips. Just basically all the gaskets on the motor, or the gaskets for the motor. And that is the bushings for the shift linkage, so it's not sloppy. The stock one has rubber ones on it, so these are a lot better. They're solid. I think they're made from some material that starts with a D. More gaskets. That was a flange, or is a flange. It's converts the KKK pattern to a T3, I believe. And I'm not going to be using that, but it was purchased because it was going to be a stock turbo for a little while, but not anymore. You show more gaskets. Injector heat shields. Or return to block from Benz Force. They make some decent quality kit, little like flanges and things for you. Those are water gaskets and an O-ring. I think the O-ring might be for the pump, but one's oil filter housing and water pump housing. And then I'm not sure what the O-ring is for, but it looks like an O-ring for the injector pump. And I have the issue that I'm gonna, that I think I'm gonna have, is the mounts. I don't think these are gonna work. I'm actually sure they're not gonna work. I thought the 602's mounts might work, but I measured the head. I believe these blocks are similar. Clearly one's going to be longer, so I just measured from the back of the block to the front of the radiator support and where that motor sits, and this would be like in the radiator. So I already ordered what are they called? The Kangaroo's team, they have like engine brackets for it, so I got those, new motor mounts, valve cover gasket. Those are all in the mail right now, but I'm just gonna pull the motor out, and I gotta clean this thing up. But yeah, there we go. All right, so time to begin. I'm going to remove, well, I'm gonna lift it up first, then move the coolant, oil, radiator, things that are in the front of the motor, then document where all these vacuum lines go, because they're kind of important. Because I want to, with the swap, I want to make everything like work the way it was before, and I also want to see if I could incorporate cruise control. I know there's going to be a lot of linkages that I'm going to have to remake, but I want to see if I can. If it'll be too complicated, I won't, but just from the get-go, that'd be a really nice feature to have, that everything functions properly. I'm not sure what all these stuff do. I know at least that one is for EGR. But anyways, here we go. I'm going to lift the car up right now and get to work. All right, it's up in the air. I have to, sorry for the fan noise. I have to take all the under panels off right now. I've never seen normal 190Es with these under trays, but I always see the diesel ones. I'm pretty sure it's not the only one that it's limited to. Maybe all the rest didn't come with it, but it's always cool to have the under trays on the cars. But yeah, this thing's pissing out diesel. I moved it around in the yard, it just destroyed the grass. But yeah, I looked in the engine bay, and I think the delivery valves were leaking. I think I know I saw. So, you know, take this off right now, and then start draining all the fluids, and continue to pull the motor out. Bumper's gonna have to come off. Radiator support's probably gonna have to be pulled or drilled, but alright, as I thought would happen, radiator support's in the way, so I'm going to drill this out now on the spot wells, pull it off, take this bolt off, and try and get the motor out that way. But as soon as you bring it up, it starts pulling towards the front as usual. The transmission's basically touching the tunnel, and we barely got the crank pulley out. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get the drill out. All right, drilled the spot welds out. I missed one. That's right here. Let's see. It's in this corner. You can probably see it better on this side. There. So I'm gonna drill that last one out, but there's 4 other ones, so 5 total on each side. Yeah, fun stuff. Alright guys, I got this thing out. Kind of pleased. It was a little rough, but hey, some things take some time. Clearly this thing is pretty grotesque and filthy, so I'm gonna blast this out tomorrow. I did a video where all the vacuum lines come from. Again, this is pretty basic. I love that this is just like one in, one out. There's no I guess on the 124s there's like a bunch of stuff back here for the heater system. So this one has like one pump, pumps it in, goes out back to the head, and you're good to go. Even on these, like the majority, this is the engine harness. The majority of them are like coolant and temp sensors. These 2 bottom ones, one's oil level and one's for the AC. And I think this one's like a wide open throttle switch. But yeah, pretty basic on the engine side, but if you want to do gauges, all this other stuff, that takes a good amount of time. But all right, this is where I am. I got to clean this up. It's only 602. I'm gonna throw it on that crate tomorrow. Just have all the stock parts over there. But yeah, I'm gonna post more updates on this later on. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. I'll have some more old Mercedes content.